What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Again, I'm in the garage. Now, in the previous video, I went to Speed Factory, got some stuff done, and I talked about the things that I was gonna do on the car. So I'm gonna turn the camera around and show you what I've done and kind of walk through what the next steps are. All right, so starting over here, I just have all the tools that I'm gonna need for the build, give or take. And I got my exhaust cam caps right here and bolts. Intake side, as you can see, I have the stock cams removed, and that makes sense if I go over here and show you that I have completely stripped the car down. Radiator is gone, all the fan stuff is gone as well, and I've taken the water pump off, cams are out, and the wire's peeled back. So that makes a little bit more sense as I move over here. And the cams that I'm going to install, they're under here. They're HKS 264s. I have the HKS exhaust pulley. I have a HKS timing belt. I have a brand new serpentine belt. And these cam seals are pretty nice, but for the price of what these things are, I'm going to go ahead and put new ones in. Here are the part numbers for those. So I got two brand new ones here. I got the water pump, and I have all the gaskets and O-rings to go with it. This is the power steer pulley and bracket. That's the fan pulley. This is just the timing cover, the tensioner, the crank tensioner, belt assembly. I got the VVTi cam gear and the alternator. And as you can see, I wrapped the downpipe, and then I have a turbo blanket. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and start by installing the cams. Again, they're 264s, so I don't have to do anything with the buckets. They will work just fine with the stock stuff. And that's where I'm gonna start and work my way down. Once I put those in, then I'll move on to the water pump. And once I have the water pump on, then I can do the timing, and it should be pretty straightforward after that. So, and if you're curious about the part number, it is 202-RT084, and it says it right here, 2JZ GTE 264 exhaust. So when you're installing the cams, there's a sequence for which to tighten the caps down per Toyota service manual. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, so on and so forth, and you will go ahead and apply pressure evenly until that cam is all the way tightened. And it's going to be both the same for both sides. So I went ahead and wrote it on there for my situational awareness as I'm going ahead and tighten these. But I just wanted to explain that. I think I've done that in one of my previous videos, but maybe you haven't seen it and you're just watching this one right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and I'll tighten this one, then I'll remove it, install the cap with some form in place gasket right here, and then I'll put the cam seal in afterwards. Then I'll go ahead and put the cam gear stuff on and rotate it and put it to TDC. Also, remember these caps got numbers on them, so this one will obviously be the first one. It can only go in one spot, and then the rest of them are numbered E1 all the way through. So that's 1, this is 2, this is 4, this one is 3, 7 goes all the way in the back, then 6, and 5. And these are just some 10mm bolts. They'll get torqued down to 14 foot-pounds. Is it foot-pounds or pound-feet? Whichever it is, it's 14. So I have everything tightened down. Now I'm going to go ahead and torque them in that same order. So number 1 right here. Again, it's 14 foot-pounds, not a lot. All right, so moving on to the intake side, and again, this is a VVTi engine, so camshaft 2JZ VVTi right here. Part number is 22002 AT004. cam seals, part number 90. Part number is 90311-40020. I'm gonna go ahead and put some FIPG just along the edges right here, so I get a good seal and no leaks. Then I'm gonna go ahead and put the 2 bolts back in. Those will get tightened down to 14 pound-feet as well. Is it pound-feet or foot-pounds? I need to look that up. Make sure I'm not saying the wrong thing and sound like an idiot. Nonetheless, you set this bad boy here to 14 and you tighten it till it clicks. Spot on, right at 14. And now I'm gonna move over to the this side. However, this side has 2 small Allen bolts that go back here. And I've never really seen what the torque spec on those are. However, they don't seem to be 10 mils. Actually, let me find out. So here are the two small Allen bolts that I'm talking about, and they go on the back part of the cam cap for the number 1 on the intake side. And these are 10 mil bolts. These are probably 6 mil. So I'm just gonna hand tighten these. I'm not gonna torque them down because I don't want to break that off into the head. I'm gonna go ahead and move it up in the middle right here. Go ahead and slide it into place. Now to note, when you're putting this one in, there's a groove between the seal and the actual cam. And the reason that is, when you put the actual cam pulley on, it's gonna create that seal between here. So again, don't freak out if you see that when you put it on. You have the correct cam seal. Now, same as before, I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bead of FIPG along this whole area back here. Now, before I tighten that one, I'm gonna go ahead and get the bolt for the VVTI solenoid because it's a little tight with space back here to maneuver. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that first washer, put it between here, and then go ahead and put the bolt through it. Okay, now that's there. I'm gonna go ahead and put the male bolts in. As for these Allen, they're 5 mils, so number 5 Allen will fit inside of them. Okay, so I have the backing plate on, timing, what is that even? Timing cam cover, whatever, I'm not sure what's that called officially. But I have HKS hot side cam gear right here. The part number for that is 22004AT003. And this is what it looks like. Now what I am gonna do, I'm gonna remove these one by one and put some blue Loctite on these, make sure they don't go anywhere. But I'm gonna install it on the car before I do so. This get torques to 60, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab it with this adjustable pliers, wrench, and then go ahead and tighten till I get my click. Put some blue Loctite on each of these bolts that goes in the cam pulley or cam gear. And I checked the torque on these. They were about, seemed like they were about 10, 11. So again, these are not that tight either, but I'm gonna remove them one by one. Then I'm gonna go ahead and torque them back up to about 13 foot-pounds. All right, that's all set. Now it's time to go ahead and install that VVTi cam pulley. So here we go. And once you install it, it'll go ahead and seal right over the cam gear, the camshaft, as I was explaining earlier. And then there's a bolt that goes straight in the middle. This one is going to hold the cam gear onto the camshaft, and it is a 10 hex size that does it. And that also gets torqued to 60 foot-pounds. And then there's an even bigger one that goes, and this is what seals the whole thing together. Now this one, I was unable to find the actual torque spec for it, so I'm just going to tighten this one to feel. Now, the thing about the VVTi cam pulley or cam gear is that it does have a play in it, right? So when you set it to TDC with there's the little mark on the gear and the dimple right here, it still has the ability to rotate backwards. But when you adjust it, you want to make sure it's locked all the way to the right when you line it up with the timing, with the mark up top. Then as far as this one, it's pretty straightforward. It's going to line up straight up and down. Now, before I go ahead and put the belt on, I have to go ahead and install that brand new water pump. The kit that I bought from Powerhouse Racing, it comes with all the gaskets. This is the one that would go on the pipe right here that goes back to the heater core. These two will go on the little pipe that goes from the water pump up to the water neck. These two O-rings right here. This is the one that will go down here onto the actual engine. And these two are for the thermostat. Not sure why there's two of those, but there are. All right, so this one, you're gonna safely go ahead and put it onto the block. And then the bolts are just some 12 mil bolts, and they get tightened to 14 foot-pounds. And then there is a spacer, I think is what this is, and it goes under this one right here. And then you go ahead and catch your bolts. So now it's time to reach back here and put these two 12mm nuts on. All right, so I got the water neck situated. Now I'm gonna put the tensioner pulley. Now this is supposed to be able to swivel on here, right? So you wanna make sure this is nice and lubed and not seized up. So in this case, I wanna say when I did the motor 2 years ago, this was brand new. So it goes in like that. This washer goes behind here, and then it goes down here. And it's gonna get tightened to 15 foot-pounds or pound-feet. But you're gonna tighten this one to 15, and it's an Allen style bolt. It's the same 10 hex as I used up here before. So now we're gonna get into installing the timing belt. This is a HKS piece. Also, all these Japanese stuff, HKS, cams, pulley, belt that I'm using, if you need stuff, reach out. I'll give you my connect. I have a connect in Japan and they can get stuff, as well as Toyota OEM parts, significantly cheaper than here in the States. Now, just make sure the pulley is locked all the way to the right with the gear lined up top up here. All right, so coming a little bit closer, you can see that mark. straight up down with there. This one here, straight up and down with the nipple over there. And then down here, you can see the little divot right here is in line with the dimple right there. And the belt is super tight on this side. And then I'm gonna go ahead and put the tensioner right here, which will then tighten the whole thing up like so. All right, so now I got everything tightened up. I'm gonna go ahead and rotate this around and make sure everything's still looking good. I got the timing done here. I'm gonna go ahead and dress up with the timing cover and put the alternator, so on and so forth, and dress this area up, and then I'll put the valve covers back on. Okay, so quick update. I've got everything put back, turbo, downpipe, the whole nine. Everything is back where it's supposed to be. And I got the bleeder on here with the coolant. As you can see, it's still settling. Now, just reconnected the battery. But like I said, everything is buttoned back up. So I'm gonna go ahead and start this bad boy. I don't see why it shouldn't start. Well, okay, so car started up nice and easy. Just normally in this weather, it takes 3-4 cranks to start, or maybe I just got the timing a little bit better than it was before, but it started up easy. As you can see, the coolant's still burping because the back of the car is down, the front is up. So what I am gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and start it up and let that continue to burp. And I'm gonna go ahead and put the bumper on in the meantime, the wheels, so on and so forth. And then I'll close the video.